Hi everyone. Welcome to English Story School. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most extraordinary stories of resilience, hope, and purpose, the life of Nick Vujicic. Nick is a man who, despite being born without arms and legs, has built a life that inspires millions. His journey isn't just about overcoming physical limitations, but embracing a mindset that transforms adversity into triumph. Let's explore how Nick's story can teach us to turn life's toughest battles into our greatest victories. Have you ever felt like the odds are stacked so high against you that success seems impossible? Imagine facing life's challenges without something as fundamental as limbs. How would you rise above? Nick was born in 1982 in Melbourne, Australia, with tetraamelia syndrome, a rare condition characterized by the absence of all four limbs. From the very beginning, life presented him with unimaginable challenges. For his parents, his arrival was bittersweet, a mix of joy for the birth of their child and deep concern about how he would navigate a world that often measures people by their physical abilities. They were faced with questions that no parent is ever truly prepared to answer. How will our son find independence? What will his future hold in a society not designed for someone with such unique circumstances? As Nick grew, these challenges became more apparent. Simple tasks like eating or writing were monumental hurdles, while other children ran freely, played games, and explored the world with boundless energy. Nick had to confront the harsh reality of his physical limitations. School presented its own set of obstacles. Not only did he face practical difficulties, like maneuvering in a world built for people with limbs, but he also encountered emotional pain through bullying. Children, often unfiltered and curious, would ask invasive questions or make thoughtless comments that cut deep. Nick was not just grappling with external challenges, but also with internal battles. He often wondered, why me? Why was I born this way? Depression became an unwelcome companion during his early years. There were days when the weight of his situation felt unbearable, and the question of his purpose loomed large. Can you imagine growing up and constantly facing questions like, how will I ever be independent? Or, what's my purpose? For Nick, these weren't fleeting thoughts. They were relentless, gnawing doubts that occupied his mind daily. He yearned for answers, for some glimmer of hope that his life could hold meaning beyond his physical condition. Yet, amidst the darkness, there were sparks of light. Nick's parents, though initially overwhelmed, were determined to provide him with as normal a life as possible. They encouraged him to focus on what he could do, not on what he couldn't. His father, a pastor, instilled in him a sense of faith and hope, while his mother's unwavering love and practicality taught him resilience. She insisted he attend a mainstream school, believing that exposure to the broader world would be crucial for his development. This decision wasn't without its challenges, but it laid the groundwork for Nick's later achievements. In school, Nick began to push against the boundaries of what seemed possible. He found innovative ways to complete tasks that others took for granted. For instance, he learned to write using two toes on his left foot, a feat of patience and determination that would later become a symbol of his adaptability. Despite his progress, the emotional toll of feeling different remained. Bullying and exclusion made him question his self-worth, and there were moments when he felt utterly defeated. One of the most profound turning points in Nick's life came around the age of 10. In the depths of despair, he realized that his story could have a purpose beyond his pain. This realization didn't happen overnight, nor did it erase the difficulties he faced, but it planted a seed of hope that slowly began to grow. Nick started to see his life through a different lens, one where his challenges could inspire others, where his journey could be a beacon for those facing their own struggles. Nick's early life was a delicate balance of adversity and determination. While the world around him often seemed like an insurmountable obstacle course, he found strength in the love of his family and the budding belief that his life had a greater purpose. These formative years, though filled with pain and doubt, were also a testament to the resilience that would later define him. Every day was a battle, but with each small victory, Nick began to lay the foundation for an extraordinary life. But here's where the story begins to shift. Nick didn't let those questions define him. Instead of dwelling on the why, he began asking himself, what now? A pivotal change in perspective that would set the course of his life. At just 17, a moment of courage sparked a movement. While many teenagers were consumed by high school dramas and future uncertainties, Nick took a bold step and shared his story publicly for the first time. It wasn't in front of a massive crowd or under bright lights. It was a humble gathering in his local community. Yet, even in that modest setting, his words carried extraordinary power. Nick's message wasn't rehearsed or sugar-coated. It was raw and real. He spoke about his pain, his doubts, and his fears, but also about his determination to rise above them. Those who listened weren't just hearing a young man talk about his struggles. They were witnessing resilience in its purest form. For many, Nick's words were a mirror reflecting their own battles, and his courage ignited something within them. The spark had been lit, but neither Nick nor those around him realized just how far it would spread. What began as small, heartfelt sessions soon gained momentum. Word of Nick's story started to travel beyond his local community. People from different walks of life, students, parents, professionals, and even skeptics, found themselves moved by his ability to turn adversity into a powerful narrative of hope. Nick's journey wasn't just a tale of overcoming physical challenges. It was a testament to the human spirit's capacity to rise above any obstacle. As the demand for Nick's talks grew, so did his confidence. He began speaking to larger audiences, sharing his journey in schools, churches, and community centers. Each speech was a masterclass in authenticity. Nick didn't hide his vulnerabilities. Instead, he used them to connect with his audience on a deeply personal level. He spoke about the bullying he endured, the moments he felt hopeless, and the inner strength he discovered through faith and perseverance. But he also balanced these heavy topics with humor and joy, showing that even in the face of adversity, life could be full of laughter and light. Nick's unique ability to blend vulnerability with inspiration made his message resonate with people of all ages and backgrounds. He didn't just talk about his life. He invited others to reflect on their own. His words carried an implicit challenge. If a man without limbs could find purpose and joy, what excuse did anyone else have to give up on their dreams? This powerful question became the cornerstone of Nick's philosophy, pushing people to confront their own limitations, real or perceived, and strive for something greater. As Nick's influence grew, so did his vision. He realized that his story was not just his own. It was a beacon for countless others who felt lost or defeated. He began crafting his speeches with even more care, weaving in lessons about resilience, gratitude, and the importance of embracing life's challenges. His talks were no longer just about his journey. They became blueprints for anyone looking to overcome their own struggles. Nick's rise to prominence as a motivational speaker was accompanied by a growing presence on the global stage. Invitations poured in from around the world, and Nick found himself traveling to countries he had only dreamed of visiting. Each destination brought new challenges, but also new opportunities to touch lives. Whether he was speaking to a packed auditorium or a small group in a remote village, Nick's message remained the same. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties. It's about confronting them head-on and finding strength in the struggle. By the time Nick reached his 20s, he had already achieved what many could only dream of. He had turned his greatest struggles into his greatest strengths, inspiring millions in the process. But for Nick, this was just the beginning. His journey as a motivational speaker was not just about sharing his story. It was about building a legacy of hope, resilience, and unwavering determination. The flame that had been lit in his teenage years was now a roaring fire, illuminating the path for countless others to follow. How did he do it? One word: mindset. Nick often says, attitude is altitude. It's not just a catchy phrase. It's the cornerstone of his life philosophy. For Nick, mindset wasn't just about staying positive. It was about reshaping his entire approach to life. He believed that success and happiness weren't determined by what you don't have, but by how you use what you do. This belief became his guiding principle, a light that illuminated his path even in the darkest moments. Nick's humor, faith, and unyielding drive to find purpose were more than just coping mechanisms. They became his superpowers. Imagine a life without arms or legs, and then imagine learning to swim. For most, it might seem impossible, but Nick defied expectations. Swimming was more than an activity. It was a statement. It symbolized his ability to rise above limitations, both physically and mentally. Each stroke in the water was a testament to his determination to not just survive, but thrive. But he didn't stop there. Nick learned to type using 2 toes on his left foot. For many, typing is a mundane skill. For Nick, it was an act of independence and empowerment. Every word he typed was a reminder that where there's a will, there's a way. This spirit of adaptation extended into other areas of his life. One of his most astonishing achievements was learning to play golf. Yes, golf, a sport that demands precision, strength, and coordination. For someone without limbs, the mere thought might seem unthinkable, but not for Nick. He approached it with the same resolve he brought to everything else. With a specially designed club and unwavering focus, he proved that innovation and determination could overcome even the most daunting challenges. These accomplishments weren't about showing off. They were about showing what's possible. Nick's triumphs served as living proof that the human spirit is capable of extraordinary things when fueled by resilience and creativity. His journey inspired countless others to reframe their own struggles, to see limitations not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to innovate. Nick's message was clear. It's not about physical ability alone. It's about the determination to adapt, to persevere, and to believe that life's challenges can be met with grace and grit. Faith played a crucial role in Nick's mindset. It was his anchor, the foundation that kept him grounded while he reached for the stars. He often spoke about how his relationship with God gave him the strength to keep going. For Nick, faith wasn't just about spirituality. It was about finding purpose in the midst of pain. It helped him see his life as part of a greater plan, giving him the courage to embrace his circumstances and turn them into something meaningful. Nick's sense of humor also became a vital part of his journey. In a world that often focused on what he couldn't do, Nick used humor to shift the narrative. He would joke about his condition, not to diminish its challenges, but to show that he refused to let it define him. His laughter was infectious, breaking down barriers and connecting him with people on a deeply human level. Through humor, Nick taught others that joy could coexist with struggle, that laughter could be a powerful tool for healing and connection. Ultimately, Nick's relentless drive to find purpose was what set him apart. He didn't just want to live, he wanted to make a difference. Each achievement, whether it was swimming, typing, or playing golf, was a step toward a larger goal, inspiring others to see the possibilities within themselves. Nick believed that everyone had their own unique challenges, but with the right mindset, those challenges could become stepping stones to greatness. Nick's journey is a powerful reminder that resilience isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about transforming it. It's about looking at the hand you've been dealt and saying, "How can I play this to win?" His life is a testament to the fact that mindset truly is everything. And through his actions, he proved that attitude really does determine altitude. Now let's talk about his impact. Nick has traveled to over 70 countries and spoken to millions, leaving an indelible mark wherever he goes. His journey isn't just a testament to personal resilience. It's a global movement that has inspired countless lives. From bustling cities to remote villages, Nick's message has transcended cultural and geographical boundaries, touching people of all ages and backgrounds. Each speech is not just a presentation. It's an experience that challenges, uplifts, and transforms. Nick's ability to connect with his audience is unparalleled. Whether he's speaking to students eager to find their path, inmates searching for redemption, or corporate professionals striving to overcome obstacles, his words strike a universal chord. In schools, he speaks directly to the fears and insecurities of young minds, encouraging them to believe in their potential. In prisons, his talks become a source of hope, a reminder that even behind bars, transformation is possible. In corporate events, he inspires leaders and teams to look beyond their perceived limitations and embrace innovation and determination. One of Nick's most impactful moments came when he addressed world leaders. Standing before individuals who wield immense influence, Nick's message was both simple and profound. Resilience is not just a personal virtue. It's a necessity for global progress. He urged them to lead with empathy and to create opportunities for those who, like him, face extraordinary challenges. His words resonated deeply, reminding even the most powerful individuals of the importance of perseverance and purpose. What sets Nick apart is his ability to adapt his message to his audience while staying true to his core philosophy. Each speech is tailored to meet the unique needs of those in the room. Yet, the heart of his message remains the same. No matter what life throws at you, resilience is your greatest tool. He challenges his listeners to shift their focus from limitations to possibilities, a perspective that has the power to change lives. Nick's impact extends beyond his speeches. He's also a prolific author, using his words to reach those who might never have the chance to hear him speak in person. His books delve deeper into his philosophy, offering practical advice and heartfelt stories that resonate with readers worldwide. Through his writing, Nick has created a legacy that will continue to inspire long after he's stepped off the stage. But Nick's influence isn't just about the words he speaks or writes. It's about the example he sets. His life is a living testament to the power of resilience and the importance of purpose. When people see Nick swim, type, or play golf, they're not just amazed by his physical abilities. They're inspired by his unwavering determination to live a full and meaningful life. Each achievement, each challenge overcome, becomes a source of motivation for those who witness his journey. Nick's impact is also amplified through his nonprofit organization, which focuses on spreading his message of hope and resilience to even more people. Through workshops, community events, and online resources, Nick and his team are reaching individuals who might otherwise feel forgotten or lost. His organization has become a beacon of hope, a reminder that no matter how tough life gets, there is always a way forward. What makes Nick's impact truly transformative is its ripple effect. Those who hear his message often go on to inspire others, creating a chain reaction of positivity and resilience. A student who once felt hopeless might find the courage to pursue their dreams. An inmate who believed they were beyond redemption might take the first steps toward rebuilding their life. A corporate leader struggling with failure might find the strength to try again. In this way, Nick's influence extends far beyond the moments he spends on stage. It becomes a catalyst for lasting change. Nick Vujicic's impact is not measured by the number of countries he's visited or the size of the audiences he's addressed. It's measured by the lives he's touched, the hope he's ignited, and the resilience he's inspired. His story reminds us that while life may not always be fair, it's always full of possibilities. And through his unwavering belief in the power of resilience, Nick has shown us all that we are capable of far more than we realize. Nick Vujicic's books, including his powerful work Life Without Limits, are truly life-changing. Within the pages of these books, Nick shares deeply personal and moving stories from his own life, offering an insight into his incredible journey. Born without arms or legs, Nick could have easily given in to despair and given up on his dreams. Instead, he chose to rise above adversity, and his life is now a beacon of hope for millions of people worldwide. Through his books, Nick doesn't just tell you his story. He challenges you to rethink what's truly possible. Every chapter is packed with raw emotion, unwavering determination, and a spirit that refuses to be broken. He demonstrates, time and again, that limitations are often only in our minds. It's through overcoming the toughest of challenges, both physical and emotional, that we discover the true power of resilience and determination. Nick's journey reminds us all that no matter how difficult life may seem, there is always a way forward. There is always a chance to make a difference. But Nick's influence doesn't stop with his books. He is the founder of Life Without Limbs, a remarkable nonprofit organization dedicated to spreading a message of hope and inspiration around the world. This organization is focused on empowering individuals to live beyond their perceived limitations, to achieve their fullest potential, and to make a lasting impact in their communities. Through Life Without Limbs, Nick reaches out to people in all corners of the globe, showing them that they, too, can lead a fulfilling life, one that is rich with purpose, meaning, and the ability to inspire others. Nick's work isn't just about his own story. It's about the ripple effect that his words and actions have on others. He's the living proof that even in the face of the harshest circumstances, it's not only possible, but entirely within reach to live a life that is meaningful and full of joy. Nick's passion for helping others shines through in everything he does, and his message resonates deeply. No matter what obstacles you face, you can rise above them and make your mark on the world. His books and his work with Life Without Limbs serve as powerful reminders that the human spirit is capable of achieving greatness, even in the face of unimaginable challenges. In the most uplifting and joyful way possible, Nick invites you to look at life through a new lens. His stories are an invitation to embrace possibility, to step beyond fear, and to live without limits. When you read his books or experience his talks, you feel like you're part of a larger, beautiful movement of individuals committed to creating change, one person at a time. Nick's unwavering belief in the potential of every human being is contagious, and his legacy is one that continues to inspire and uplift, reminding us all that the best is always yet to come. What makes Nick Vujicic's story truly captivating and inspiring is his remarkable authenticity. Unlike many who share only the polished, successful aspects of their lives, Nick takes us on an unflinching journey into the depths of his struggles. He doesn't hide from the tough moments, the raw emotions, or the challenges that many would rather sweep under the rug. Instead, he embraces them and opens his heart to the world, allowing others to see the very real and human side of his journey. This transparency is what makes his story so relatable, so incredibly powerful, and so impactful. Nick is unafraid to talk about his darkest times, his feelings of isolation, his deep frustration, and even his moments of utter despair. There was a time in his teenage years when he felt the weight of the world on his shoulders and was consumed by the thought of ending his life. Can you imagine that kind of pain, especially as a young person? Here he was facing the world without arms and legs, and the emotional burden of rejection, loneliness, and self-doubt threatened to crush him. But rather than glossing over this difficult period, Nick bravely shares it with us. He doesn't sugarcoat the pain or pretend that everything was easy. He shows us that it's okay to feel vulnerable and that it's normal to struggle with doubts and fears. This raw honesty creates an instant connection with his audience. It's as though Nick is saying, "You're not alone. I've been there and I know how it feels." His openness allows others to see that he is just like anyone else. Yes, he's accomplished amazing things, but his road to success wasn't paved with ease. He faced every kind of challenge that most of us could never imagine, and yet he chose to push forward. It's this vulnerability that makes his message so authentic and relatable. It's not about being perfect, not about pretending to have everything figured out. It's about embracing our imperfections and finding strength in them. Nick's story also teaches us something profound about resilience. Often, when we think of resilience, we imagine people who are unshakable, who never crack under pressure, who keep going no matter what. But Nick flips this idea on its head. He shows us that resilience isn't about being invincible. It's about embracing our brokenness and imperfections and still choosing to rise. It's about finding strength not despite our vulnerabilities, but because of them. Nick teaches us that true strength lies not in pretending to be unbreakable, but in acknowledging our struggles and using them as fuel to push forward. The beauty of Nick's authenticity is that it reminds us that we don't have to be flawless to be strong. Our weaknesses and our challenges are not our failures. They are part of our story, part of what makes us human. And when we allow ourselves to be real, when we embrace the tough moments instead of hiding from them, we discover a deeper, more powerful strength within ourselves. Nick's message is clear. We are all worthy of love and success, not because we're perfect, but because we're perfectly imperfect. Through his openness and his vulnerability, Nick creates a space where others feel safe to confront their own struggles. He gives them permission to feel what they feel, to acknowledge their pain, and to find strength in their own stories. Nick's authenticity is a breath of fresh air in a world that often demands perfection. And in doing so, he opens the door for healing, growth, and transformation. His journey serves as a reminder that resilience is not about never falling. It's about always getting back up, no matter how many times we stumble. And in that, we find our true power. Nick's journey is nothing short of awe-inspiring. And there's so much we can take away from the remarkable way he's navigated through life. First, let's dive into the concept of embracing challenges. For most of us, when we hit a bump in the road, it can feel like everything's come to a standstill. We often see these hurdles as roadblocks, something that prevents us from moving forward. But Nick has an entirely different perspective. He doesn't just face challenges, he embraces them. Instead of getting discouraged by difficulties, he views them as stepping stones, as opportunities for growth. Think about it for a moment. Every time you face a challenge, it's like an invitation to level up, to evolve, and to unlock a new version of yourself. By accepting challenges as part of the journey, we free ourselves from the fear of failure and open up to the potential for incredible growth. Then there's the power of gratitude. Nick talks about this often, how a simple shift in perspective can completely change the way we experience the world. It's easy to focus on what's going wrong in our lives. When we're caught in a negative spiral, everything feels heavy and out of reach. But Nick shows us the transformative magic of gratitude. By choosing to be grateful, we start to see the beauty and the potential around us, even in the midst of adversity. Gratitude doesn't just change our mindset, it changes the very way we approach life. Instead of seeing challenges as insurmountable obstacles, we begin to see them as opportunities. Opportunities to learn, to grow, and to rise above. Gratitude is like wearing a new pair of glasses that let you see a world full of possibilities instead of limitations. Imagine how different our lives could be if we consistently practice gratitude every single day. And finally, let's talk about the power of community. Nick's journey wouldn't have been the same without the incredible support system that stood by his side. His family, his friends, and his faith weren't just background characters in his story. They were active players, providing love, encouragement, and guidance when he needed it most. None of us is an island. And Nick's story is a powerful reminder of how important it is to surround ourselves with people who lift us up. Whether it's through shared laughter, a shoulder to lean on, or just knowing that someone's in your corner, community provides the strength to keep moving forward, even when things seem impossible. Nick's support system helped fuel his transformation, and it's a testament to the undeniable power of human connection. In summary, Nick's journey teaches us three invaluable lessons. First, that challenges are stepping stones, not roadblocks. Second, that gratitude has the power to shift our perspective and open our eyes to the countless opportunities surrounding us. And finally, that the love and support of a community can make all the difference in our journey. If we take these lessons to heart, we can navigate our own lives with more resilience, more joy, and a deeper sense of purpose. So, let's embrace challenges, practice gratitude, and lean on our communities, just as Nick has done. As we wrap up, think about this. What's your biggest challenge right now? And more importantly, how can you turn it into your greatest opportunity? Nick's story is proof that no matter where you start, resilience can take you to unimaginable heights. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, stay inspired and keep pushing forward.